Hello, here with my fox mug that I dedicate to Loki to talk about deities. Now, this is actually a pretty common thing, especially when you're just starting out with deities. Like, it can be really hard to figure out, like, what's them and what's you. Same goes for spirit guides. Same goes for, like, if you've got, like, mediumship abilities. Like, it can be really difficult to tell the difference and kind of, like, get used to it, I guess. And that is where handy dandy divination comes in. There are lots of different ways that you can use divination. For me personally, one of my go-tos is tarot, but sometimes that doesn't quite work the best. Sometimes you want to go for more of a pendulum feel if you just want to like ask yes or no to be sure. Sometimes you want to do like a bone casting. Sometimes you want to use runes. Like it really just depends on what speaks to you and what speaks to you in the moment, because that's also different. You can also read tea leaves, etc. Just again, whatever calls out to you. Make sure that you kind of set a precedent with it though, if that makes sense. So for instance, this is my newest tarot deck that I've been obsessed with. If I'm going to use this to be like, hey, is this deity reaching out? I'm going to assign a card. I'll say like, have the father, this is essentially the emperor in this card, by the way, gorgeous. I'll say, have the father pop out if it's Odin or whoever, and then you shuffle through. And if this card pops out, then that's usually a good indicator. You could also kind of be like, all right, when I think about this deity, what are they trying to say to me? You can get messages that way. But again, that's also part of the reason why tarot can be more difficult to use for this, because it gives you more information than yes or no. And sometimes it will not give you a simple yes or no. So that's when pendulums come in. Now, coincidentally, I cannot currently find my pendulum necklace, but this is the necklace I was wearing for Aphrodite the other day, and I think I might start using it as a pendulum. So anyway, you'd basically say, show me yes, and it'll swing one way for yes, so it'll be like this, and then show me no, and then it'll swing like this, or however it's going to present itself to you. And then you go, okay, and you ask it some questions like, hey, is my name Kai? And I'll say yes. Or do I have brown hair? And it'll say no, etc. Once you have established kind of a baseline with it, then start being like, all right, is Loki reaching out to me? And then it'll say yes or no, and etc., etc., etc. So that's a really helpful way. I am not as knowledgeable on the other kinds of divination. These are my two main forms, although I do experiment a little bit with runes and like reading tea leaves and like clouds sometimes. But it really just depends. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. Good luck.